All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 88. Right after the holidays, too, by the way. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Live in 2025.
So speaking of New Year's, does anyone even bother doing New Year's resolutions anymore?
I don't remember the last time I've done a New Year's resolution.
I can't recall.
Yeah,
myself.
me neither. But people apparently still do them. So I wonder what people would actually try to do differently, I guess, in the new year.
Lose weight, eat healthier, stop smoking, stop drinking.
Right. Yeah, so all those are probably going to be negatives for me. I will, however, try really hard this year to cut down on my drinking. That I will say I'm going to try and do. I'm supposedly going to be doing that next week, starting Monday. We'll see how
Before the football season ends?
Yeah, well, it's over pretty much with the playoffs. But yeah, it's going to be loose. Like, it's not like I'm giving it up completely. Like, you know, I'm not Jesus Christ or anything like that, you know? I'm not a pope or a priest. I'm just saying, you know, shave it down a little bit, you know? That's all. And hopefully, you know, things will, that'll work out for a little while. But yeah, so with the whole New Year's being over and the holidays are now officially over, we're in the 2025 year. Kind of weird how fast that year went, right?
Super fast.
And they only get faster.
Well, let's hope so.
It seems that way.
Not too fast, but
I wish they would slow down a little bit. I mean, come on.
you know when it'll slow down? When you retire. I feel like for like people that we know that are retired, or at least for my father, like he keeps himself busy, but like I don't feel like anything flies for him because like every time I see him, he's just sitting on the couch playing on his iPad. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, how fast could it be going for him? You know?
Yeah, I guess.
And he's like, you know, 20 years older than you, 30 years older than me.
Hopefully for us, though, when we're retired, we're playing a lot of golf. And
That's what I'm hoping for. Like, that's the whole point why we work our asses off.
Right.
You know? So, speaking of working our asses off, I worked my ass off the last couple of days. I've been shot. So, I didn't really do anything for New Year's. Did anyone do anything for New Year's, or was it low-key?
Not me.
I went to one of my aunt's house who does New Year's Eve every year, so I ended up going there.
Did you make it to midnight?
Yeah.
Oh.
We I mean, I'm talking like 45, 50 people, so it was like
wow.
pure mayhem.
That's a lot of people. In a house? It must be a big house, right?
No, not really, we're just crammed in there. You know, just hanging out, eating, and playing a little left, right, center.
Nice. For money?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a good game to play on New Year's. It doesn't take much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, when you get a decent amount of people, even at, you know, dollar stacks, it gets up there.
Sure does.
But, yeah, waited till the ball dropped. And it's funny because my cousin, my aunt and uncle's daughter, one of their daughters that were at the house, her birthday is New Year's Eve. So it's like
wow.
New Year's Eve plus her birthday. So we had cake. The ball dropped. We had cake and basically
Gone.
split.
12:30, you were out the door.
Oh, yeah.
Like the cake was on the table ready to go at 12:01. Yeah, I fell asleep probably right after the ball dropped, which is normally not like me. I normally stay up for a while. And I even had the next day off, which is great because I don't know how I would have woke up early in the morning to go to work.
Yeah.
I was shot. But yeah, I didn't do much. Just sat here, watched the ball. You know what I didn't realize, by the way?
What's that?
When did they start doing fireworks around here on New Year's? I don't remember that being a thing.
Everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Even where I was in Middle Village, they were shooting fireworks all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like the last few years it's definitely ramped up.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
fairly new.
It's like any reason to shoot fireworks, people
any
are
kind
shooting
of
fireworks.
like holiday, yeah.
Well, I like them. I just, what sucks about living in this apartment is you really can't see them unless they're in the backyard where my car is or out in the street, which I've never seen yet. So I don't really, I hear them, but I don't get to really see them.
Right.
Not that what people are shooting off in these neighborhoods are anything that you really want to see. I mean, it's just more noise than anything else.
I'm sure some people got some decent stuff out there, you know what I mean? Some of them have to go to Phantom Fireworks in PA and grab a bunch of mortars or whatnot.
Maybe a few festival balls.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like those cakes and all that other stuff, whatever they have that shoots out all this crap. That's the only reason why I like 4th of July, because I love the fireworks. So, you know, maybe we'll get more of that for every holiday. That'd be great. Yeah, so everyone's New Year's is good. We're starting off the new year on a right track, hopefully. And we'll go from there. I mean, we don't really have to worry about any New York team in football going to the playoffs, so we don't have to worry about that. I guess the next thing we got to look forward to is the start of the baseball season.
Yeah, I mean, well, we luckily we have the Knicks in basketball who are looking real good.
Yeah, but that's not till like June.
Hockey is done
Yeah,
already.
abysmal.
I don't know what the hell happened there, but yeah.
Like, I feel like the next big thing we got is the start of the baseball season, and everyone around here is going to go crazy, like,
Right.
you know, for Soto and the Mets starting and everything off. Would you have any predictions yet for any of that stuff?
Not real. I haven't even thought
I
about
mean, you can, for me at least, you can see the script being written already that the Yankees are going to have a great season. They're going to do better than they did last year, and everybody can say, you know, oh, thank God we didn't sign Soto.
You think so?
I do. I mean, only because I think they've been making a lot of the right moves after that didn't happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, some people would say that they were, going crazy buying guys like Fried right off the bat because they lost Soto right away, like spending crazy. I don't necessarily look at it like that.
No, of course not, because he would have gotten that contract anywhere else he signed.
Well, I think the only reason why he got the 8th year was because the Yankees just wanted to put it to bed. Everyone was offering him 7, so just to come over the top, give him the 8th, what's the big deal? And that's it, you know?
Exactly.
I don't think they were going crazy. I think for at least this time they had a clear plan B, and they put it into effect right away. They didn't want to hear anything about it. I'm looking forward to the Yankee season. My only prayer, I guess you could say, is if they stay healthy, knock on wood, because if they don't stay healthy, they're going to be in trouble. And that goes for everybody, like the pitching staff. Like, I know they have the best pitching staff in the league right now, but, Garrett Cole's got to come back and have a full season. Things need to be clean. You know what I mean? Like, no injuries or very minimal injuries where it's like you're not losing guys for months at a time.
We know they're not going to go completely injury-free, right? Because that's basically impossible. But,
Yeah, it's part of baseball nowadays.
Right.
But, other than that, we got that to look forward to. Then the Knicks are somewhere in like May and June with the playoffs. Hopefully they're playing really well. I think they're on like a 10-game win streak or something like that, right?
They are. They're since they started the season 5-6, they've been 19-4.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah. So
they got to keep it going, though.
They're the 4th best team in the league right now.
Really?
Best record.
Wow. But they're still behind Boston?
And Cleveland.
Wow, so the 3 best teams out of 4 are on the East.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, I wish them luck. I hope to see them in the playoffs and not put up a dud this year. And
Yeah, they have a big game tonight. They're playing Oklahoma City, who's the 3rd best team in the league, or the 2nd best team in the league right now.
right, so it's Cleveland first.
So what everybody's saying is they have a much harder schedule moving forward than they did
early on.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So they'll be tested pretty much the next couple
Yeah.
weeks. Well, that's not great. But yeah, let's see what they do. We'll look forward to it. I mean, they still got a long season ahead. I mean, they're not even 30 games in yet, so they still got a bunch of games. So we'll see what happens with that. The more important thing is for them to gel. I think the more they gel, the better off they'll be towards the end.
And they are, and the good thing is they're deep. So they're looking good. They're looking good. They made a lot of good moves. This Carl Anthony Towns trade is looking fantastic right now.
That's awesome. Good for them. I'm rooting for them because it's about time they get back. I mean, they've been in the playoffs, but to push the envelope and try and get to the finals would be nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know they got a long road ahead of them, but you see it every year. There's a team that gets hot in the playoffs, and you can pretty much beat anybody. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, they definitely seem a bit deeper. Obviously, Towns has been outstanding, but Bridges has come on a bit too.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
they're very deep.
And Hart,
And Mitchell Robinson still hasn't come back yet.
I was just gonna say that, like when they get him back, that defense will really help them out too. You know, having that big body. The problem is you don't know how long he's gonna last.
Right.
Which is, so hopefully he takes his sweet ass time coming back. And like, it's kind of like a sad week a little bit, don't you think? Like, the football season's pretty much done. The playoffs are pretty much set. There's a few games that could, I guess, change the playoffs.
So what is it? We have obviously this is the final week of the season coming up, right?
Yep.
And then does it go straight to the wild card games, or is there a week?
I think it goes straight to.
No, the following week is Saturday, Sunday, wild card weekend, baby. I know who's particularly used to be excited about it is the guy to my left, the Wander over here.
That's
One of the best days of the year, right?
I agree. Yes, definitely.
So I'm looking forward to that. I don't have the playoff picture in front of me right now, but just off a glance, I know that depending on who wins and loses, like if the Broncos lose against the Chiefs, it opens up the door for three teams technically: the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Bengals. And it gets a little bit more difficult for the Bengals. They're like the last kind of seed, so they have to everyone has to lose for them to get in.
That's going to be the nice thing about this last week of the season. There's still a lot of meaningful games going on, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, just on the AFC side though, the NFC is pretty much locked up. The only thing I think that could really change in the NFC is the Seahawks-Rams game. I think whoever wins that, and I could be wrong because I think they're both. Yeah, the Rams are 10-6 and Seattle's 9-7. So if Seattle wins, they'll both be 10-7. I just don't know what the tiebreaker is because whichever team wins the division, the other team's out of the playoffs because you got the the divisional races. So Detroit, Minnesota, right? They're both 14-2. So whoever wins that game gets the division and the bye. And then that other team gets the first wild card spot. And then you got Green Bay at 11-5. They get the other one. And then you got Tampa Bay in the South that has the division right now at 9-7. Atlanta's 8-8. So I guess you could fight for that division too. I don't know who's Atlanta is playing right now or Tampa, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, and Tampa, I think, has a pretty good matchup, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then you got the Rams. Yeah, so
the
both
Bucs
those
are playing the Saints.
Okay, and who's Atlanta playing?
The Panthers. So
okay, so I don't know the tiebreaker, but that might be a division up for grabs too. Let's see, division 3-2, 4-1. Yeah, so they both win. That doesn't matter. It would be the Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay
Atlanta has the better divisional record.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. So if Atlanta wins,
so if they both win, Atlanta will have a game advantage in the division.
Right, but if they both win, Tampa Bay be 10-7, where Atlanta be 9-8.
Correct.
So Tampa has to lose, Atlanta has to win, and then they get the division.
Right.
Same thing, I guess, with the West with the Rams and Seattle. Let's look at their division real quick.
Rams have the
4-1
lead as well.
Right. So if Seattle wins, they'll be even on the division. If the Rams lose,
and then conference record, it would go to conference record.
I would assume.
And they'd be tied with that too.
Yes, that's crazy. Ooh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if Seattle wins.
Oh, the Rams already have the division clinched.
How do you know?
According to this, it says they have the division clinched. Seattle's eliminated.
How are they eliminated? They're 9-7 and they're playing the Rams.
According to ESPN standings, they're eliminated from playoff contention.
That's strange.
The Rams have the division locked up, and all of the three teams are out. So it's the Rams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Yeah, because don't forget, from the NFC North, you have three teams.
Right. Yeah, but they could still win the division, I thought.
No, it says eliminated.
That's so weird.
Because Seattle's playing the Rams, aren't they?
That's what I'm saying. So it would tie everything up. That's what I don't understand. So if Seattle wins, right, they both be 10-7, and then you're going off whatever whatever tiebreaker the Rams must have.
Unless it goes, Even if it goes head to head first, they'd be 1-1. Then,
Right, that's what I'm saying. And it wouldn't be that. I don't think it would be that. It'd be division, then conference, then maybe head to head. But they'd be 1-1. So I don't know what else it would be. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, according to this, it says that they're eliminated.
What about Tampa and Atlanta? They still have a chance?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it because
So it's the Rams, Tampa, Atlanta, Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay.
and
then
Washington and Philly.
Philly and Washington.
Yep. And that's the NFC right there in a nutshell. So there's only really one race there. It's just for that division, the South division. Then you go to the AFC.
And you still have Denver, who's still alive. The Chargers and Kansas City are in. Houston's the only one in their division.
Right.
Then in the north, you have Baltimore, Pittsburgh already in. Cincinnati still has a chance.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. The Colts aren't even in it. They're 7-9.
Right.
So it's really just if Bengals beat Pittsburgh and
Miami still has a chance.
yeah, Miami has a chance too. But if Miami loses to in order for our Bengals, I'm going to say our Bengals, right? Because we've been rooting for them.
Yeah.
I think the NFL's rooting for them. Too.
Right. The Miami and the Broncos have to lose, and Cincy's wins and they're in. So it's that simple. It's like the Colts lost to the Giants. I forgot they lost to the Giants last week, so they're out of contention as well. And then that's really the only other race. I mean, Baltimore's not gonna. Who's Baltimore playing again?
Baltimore is playing the Browns.
Okay, that's Saturday. Oof, both those games are on Saturday.
Yeah, the Bengals game.
Wow.
Saturday night.
Oof, I gotta watch that game.
A lot of people are going to be watching that.
Yeah, 100%. And now going from last week, since we're talking about all these playoff pictures, I'm very upset that the Jets can't even, show up against the Bills. I mean, I kind of knew they were going to lose that game, but to lose in the way they lost, they were losing 40-0. It's so bad. And on top of that, I'm going to see the Jets-Dolphins game.
They came out with the boombox.
Yeah, you saw that? It's so bad.
What, Sunday?
Yeah. I was invited with Amish and Devang to go there. If the tickets weren't free, I wasn't going, but they're free, so I'm going. And what's even worse is I'm driving there because I can't take the train back. I did that a couple of weeks ago, and if there's ever misery in a box, that's what it is. I don't know, like it's like herding cattle onto the trains. You know what I mean? I was like, I've never felt weirder in my life.
Yeah.
Doing that.
It's a long commute. Yeah.
Oh, miserable. You got multiple trains and this. At least I know, yeah, I'm going to be sitting in the parking lot for an hour before anything happens.
Right.
What I hope, at the very least, is like Miami blows out the Jets so that I could kind of convince everyone, let's get out of here in the third quarter, miss some of that traffic. Either that or I hope that half the stadium is empty like we went the last time so that traffic won't be as bad and I could snake out of there a little bit early and bypass some of the traffic. Like, I know I'm going to hit traffic. Like, I'm not even debating that.
What the hell you guys are thinking?
Well, there's season tickets, so, like, you either use them or that's it. So,
And you probably couldn't give them away at this point.
no, plus, Devang's a big Finn fan, so.
That's what I was going to say. I thought, if I recall, he was the...
Even more reason to not go, because you're going to have to sit with his ass listening to his shit all game long with his fucking fins up bullshit.
That doesn't even really bother me anymore because I'm like, the Finns are terrible too. Just because they're 8-8, they're still bad. Like, even if they make the playoffs, like, let's say somehow the second squad of the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Broncos and Miami beats the Jets and they're in, like, they're not making it out of the first round. You know what I mean? Like, I wish they had the bracket set up already. Like, they don't have it on here for some weird reason. But, like, I feel like it's very easy when we pick who's going to win these playoff games next week, like, it should be no-brainers. I mean, I know the point spread takes a little out of it, but, like, come on, you know what I mean? Like,
It should be clear cut.
yeah, there's certain teams that just aren't, unless you get, like, a crazy upset, there's just certain teams that are just not going to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, whoever plays Minnesota is going to lose. Like, Minnesota's been fire all year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I
We'll
mean, they do, aren't they do have some a history of choking in a big
Oh,
spot.
yeah, 100%. 100%. But, you know, to be fair, all I really want to see is the Lions in the Super Bowl. I don't care for the AFC. Doesn't matter to me. Bills, Ravens, Kansas City. I just want the Lions to be in the Super Bowl. That'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, really, at this point of all the NFC teams there, definitely, I think it'd be good for football. I mean, they just have a bunch of injuries they're dealing with right now, so we'll have to wait and see. Their offense, is going to fucking put up a ton of points. It's just a matter of if they're going to stop anybody, which I think is going to be the case pretty much throughout the playoffs. I think they're going to be all high-scoring games.
I mean, if you're playing the Lions, yeah, like, I'm really excited.
Buffalo's games are always high-scoring. Kansas City's games are usually pretty high-scoring.
Yeah, they score in the 20s. Like, they're more defense savvy, I would say. But some of these teams put up duds every once in a while. Like, I remember the Bills put up a dud against the Ravens. So you got to see which matchups they get. I'm not really worried about it. Whoever comes out of AFC is fine. Like, the Chargers aren't going to go anywhere. It's nice that they made the playoffs. I can't really see them.
I don't know, man. I don't think anybody wants to play the Chargers right now. I think the two teams in the AFC that people, well, I mean, it's tough because they're just so stacked in the AFC. You don't want to face any of them, really. But
No.
I mean, the Bengals and the Chargers, it's hard to say that anybody wants to get stuck facing them.
No, I mean, the Bengals might not even make it, but if they were to make it, they're one of the most dangerous teams to play, even without a defense, because Joe Burrow is just so crazy.
That's what I'm saying, Like, think about it. The Chargers or the Bengals, like, either one going up against the Bills. It's going to be like 45-48 kind of game.
Yeah, I would love that, because those are going to be awesome parlay games for us if you gamble. By speaking of which, so I bet a bunch of parlays over the weekend, none of which hit. I lost not a lot, just like $40, a bunch of $10 ones. But the one that pissed me off the most was the Monday night game, because I was like, I saw it coming. I'm like, the Lions don't really have a defense right now. San Francisco doesn't have really anything, but they could at least still score. So I put in this 8-leg parlay, right? I don't remember all of them, right? But I had a mix of like receiving yards, anytime touchdowns. I even had the Detroit on the money line because I was confident that the Lions were just going to win. And I was hoping it would be like a high-scoring game, which it kind of was. You know what I mean? It pretty much was. I think they scored like 70 points or something like that.
To be honest, I only saw the first half, so I was surprised that they covered when I woke up.
Yeah. Well, Brock Purdy was the reason for that because he threw a couple interceptions that were terrible calls.
Gotcha.
But I literally hit every single one of them, but a George Kittle touchdown. That's all I remember. But everything else hits. I had a Jamar Gibbs touchdown. He got one late. I had a Monron St. Brown touchdown. I had receiving yards for somebody, receptions for both Kittle and Monron St. Brown, and the money line. Everything hit but Kittle. And I watched the game. Not all of it, but most of it, especially towards the end, because I was at work and I'm like watching this game. And not once, but twice did he catch a ball and get stopped 2 yards from the goal line.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the game, but I had one too, and I actually hit. I've actually been doing pretty good lately, but I hit for that game. I hit Jared Goff over 1.5, Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, St. Brown touchdown, and I did Kittle 50 yards receiving, and he hit that, and St. Brown 50 yards receiving, and
That's
Gibbs
easy.
Gibbs combined 100 yards rushing and receiving.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
and then of course
Was that one of your $5 bets?
$10.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing okay. So now
You upped the ante a little bit.
I'm
I like
to
it.
$10 bets.
And how much did you get out of that?
I rolled.
200 something?
No, 109.
That's it? Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because it wasn't even a plus 1,000.
Wow.
And then
I thought that'd be more because it's so many. It's a few legs. Like it's like 5 leg,
no.
right?
And then last night, wait till you hear this one. I did an NBA one,
Oh boy.
7 legs. One of them got canceled because Jalen Brunson ended up not playing.
Oh,
It was
right,
like
he was
a
out,
game
yeah.
time decision. They just sat him.
Mm-hmm.
Hit all 6 legs. It was 8 legs, so it ended up being 7 legs.
Right.
Hit 6 legs. The last leg I had was Klay Thompson going under 15.5 points because he hasn't done it in like 10 games. Scored 16 points.
Wow. Guess you should have went on the over.
Fit under 15.5 and he scored 16 points.
That's rough. That's rough, dude. Oh boy.
And that was like that was plus 33.81. Fucking.
Was that a 10? Was that a $10?
$5 one.
Oh, okay. Back down to it.
I'm not that confident with the NBA.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So yeah, so football with this week is weird, right? Because a lot of people aren't going to be playing.
Interesting thing though, I've been watching a lot of videos on social media, and there are a bunch of guys who have a bunch of potential, like big time bonuses due to them,
Oh.
and like very attainable ones.
Okay.
So it's like everybody's putting out these videos that these are going to be the ones to
bet.
do. It was like,
I know one of them is Mike Evans because he's like
and Mike Evans is
1,000 yards.
$3 million, and then Geno Smith is like, either his is like 3 million or 1 million if he throws for over 185 yards.
So do you have these so we can bet on these things or what? Like, let's go.
I do have it, but I left it at home.
Well, when you get home, you need to send it out because I want to bet these.
Yeah.
Because what I'm getting at is I don't know where to bet this week really because I don't know who the hell is going to be playing. So that's actually good that you have something like that. I will tell you this. I'm going to do a parlay on just the Lion Viking game alone because that's going to be a high scoring game. So like everyone's going to you got to have the right combo, obviously, but there's going to be touchdowns all over the place and like tons of yardage, I think. Like I don't see this being a defensive game.
And I saw another video where they're
Do they
doing
have
a
the same
lot
record?
of.
Okay, so that's for the 1 seed.
It's for the one seed in the division, yeah.
It was a 4-leg parlay just for the Bengals game, and it was like Burrow touchdown and a half. What was it? 200 Burrow to throw over 272 yards. Chase to have over, I think it was something like 92 yards.
Do you have this written down somewhere? Send it out, Hopkins, all right? Hopkins, send it in, okay? Only because that is a good game, but the problem with that game is Pittsburgh has a defense. So, like, will Joe Burrows be able to play through that and win this game?
Yeah, they're saying that Joe Burrow in his last 5 games has averaged 320 yards.
Easily, yeah. He's been on fire, but that's...
Which scares you because he could be due for... The only thing is that this game is so damn important.
Right, and he's won, I want to say 4 in a row now. They're 8-8, right? So yeah, they were 4-8. So he's won 4 in a row now, somewhat similar to what the Rams have been doing, which got them back in the mix. And he's probably going to be awesome. Don't get me wrong. The only difference is he's going up against a strong defense now, whereas before, you could say the Broncos have a strong defense too, and he lit them up. But I think the Steelers' defense is even better than the Broncos. But that's still a game you're going to want to bet. You're just going to want to temper your expectations. Like, I wouldn't bet for him to go over 275 yards. I'd stick somewhere in the 225 to 250. And if he goes past it, great.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, sacrifice a little bit of the odds, but make sure you hit that one, you know?
Speaking of, that was some game last week.
Yeah, it really was.
Broncos and the Bengals.
Hell yeah, it was an awesome game. And they squeaked it out, and he had another monster performance. I think he threw, was it
And Nick's really,
4 touchdowns?
really, shined in.
Yeah, well, he's been doing great for a while now. Like, he had a rocky start. As a matter of fact, both quarterbacks had a rocky start. Joe Burrow wasn't really that good the first 3, maybe 4 weeks. And he's turned it on, and he was just, it's his defense. He's been losing because of his defense.
Right.
There've been a lot of one-score games, and it's hurt him. And if nothing else, even if they don't make the playoffs next year, you got to get this guy some talent on the defensive side of the ball. Whether it be the draft or some free agents, like trades, whatever you got to do, you got to get him a defense, because if you do, that team can be one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and for a stretch.
They are right now.
Yeah. They had a very good defense for a number of years.
They did. When he first got there, they had a good defense. He just had that bad knee injury, and he missed that year.
Yeah.
And then when they went to the Super Bowl, he had a great defense then. It was his offensive line that was crap, and he still made it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, like, you just got to give him 2 out of the 3 aspects, and he'll keep it rolling. It's still Kansas City's conference to lose.
Yeah, I guess you have to say that, right? You can't really go any other way than that.
I mean, you don't really have a choice.
Although I think this year, I have a feeling it's going to be Buffalo that comes out of the AFC. I don't know. I just think that they look really good.
Listen, would I be surprised if they made it finally? No. Same thing with the Ravens, Other than those 2 teams, everyone else that's playing in the playoffs, like, I can't see getting to the Super Bowl. But as of right now, if you're not going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, you're not going to the Super Bowl. So until someone does, and remember, they got to bye, so they got to play one less game, and they get 2 weeks off.
And they got that lucky stick up their butts too,
And they do, for whatever you guys want to say out there, whether it be the refs or just them getting lucky for a bunch of different reasons. They're still ultra competitive, and they're a really good football team. Yeah. And you got to get past them. Like, it's one thing to beat them in the regular season. No one's in the last couple of years has beaten them in the playoffs. So until someone does, I'm just going to say it's going to be the Chiefs until that happens. You know what I mean? And it's, rightfully so, right? They've earned it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As much as you hate to say it.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh's another good team. They could go on a run too. I just think they're a little shaky because of Russell Wilson. I don't see him, being able to step up in that kind of a big game, especially when they're going to be on the road, because they're most likely going to be on the road.
Yeah.
Maybe not the first round. I don't know how, because they're a division. No, they're not division. They're a wild card, so they're going to be on the road anyway. So it might be a little tougher. They do have one of the best coaches in football. But that's just tough to do if they got to go into Buffalo or a Baltimore and win that game.
Did they beat Baltimore twice?
No, they split.
They split.
Yeah, because they just played them. Was it last week?
Yeah, Baltimore just recently beat them.
Yeah, and convincingly.
And Pittsburgh has had Baltimore's number, so it was like.
Yeah. But yeah, so like. Getting back to the betting side of things, like, it's hard to even do just like I might do a $5 like money line bet and just pick a bunch of games. Other than that, I'm not going to touch a lot of like touchdowns.
There's been a lot of what I've been seeing a lot of videos on lately is these guys that are doing this they're calling it like a 10-day challenge where they start with $10. And I guess I haven't really looked into it too much, but from what I can get from the couple of videos I saw, is like they start day one with a $10 bet, and usually it's just picking one thing, right? So if you hit that, then day 2 you roll that over. So say it's like $20, and then you pick one thing, and if you hit that, then day 3 you roll it, and it's like going from $10 to $10,000 or something like that.
Yeah, we got to hit 10 bets.
Right.
That's kind of insane.
Right.
I could barely hit one bet. You want me to hit 10 in a row?
Well, I mean, it's definitely easier when you're doing just one leg at a time.
Right.
than our normal 7, 8, 9 legs that is virtually impossible to hit.
Yeah, like I'm looking at these games and like I don't know what teams have anything to really play for. So it's like, who are you picking? Like, I can't pick the Jets Dolphins game for a money line. Like, I'll pick the Dolphins and somehow the Jets will win.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or even the Baltimore game.
Yeah. Like Cleveland has nothing to play for, but they're just going to look to beat the balls off the Ravens for no reason, even though they pretty much have the division. Actually, if Pittsburgh wins, they'll be tied if Baltimore loses. But there's so many different things here. I think I'm just going to stick to the games that mean something. And I thought Seattle and the Rams was one of them. And you're telling me that Seattle's eliminated, so I don't even know what's happening with that. But I do like your idea of guys that have something to play for to make extra money. The incentive-based bets are usually, like, as long as you pick right, are usually good to go with.
Right.
So definitely send that out because I want to pick that. Like I said earlier, the one game I'm going to focus on is that Sunday night game, which I probably won't get to see much of until I get home from the stupid Jet game, which is why I hope I could leave a little early just to get home by like 8:30. That game, I feel like you could almost pick anything in that game and it's going to hit. You know what I mean? Just don't be outlandish and say, oh, you know, Darnold is going to throw for 350 yards. Like,
Right.
if you keep it decent, even though you're not going to win a ton of money, if you keep it in the 200s with that or something like that, or like, for example, Jamar Gibbs is going to get a touchdown. There's no question about it. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 100% a touchdown. Goff is throwing at least like 2 to 3 touchdowns a game. All they do is throw the ball, and that's going to happen. And then Gibbs gets like 70, 80 yards rushing, no problem. So instead of going 80 because it's plus whatever, go minus 105 for like 60 or 70 and hit that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you just got to be smart with that game, and you'll get something out of it. Even if you bet $10 and you win 100, that's still 100 you didn't have, right? That's what I'm going with.
It's still 10 times your money.
Agreed. So that's what that game is. I'm going to sit tomorrow, Saturday. I'm going to fine comb it and look at what's going on, and I'm going to place bets on that game for sure. I'm going to stay away from the Dolphin Jet game. What's another one that we're looking at? The Broncos have to win right against Kansas City.
Tampa Bay. You know that they put up these numbers every game.
And they've been doing that for the last couple of weeks. So that's another one that you're gonna want to see because they're gonna want to keep the division. Maybe the Atlanta game too. Sprinkle in like those are the games that I'll put the anytime TDs on. You know, like a Drake London or whatever. Who's the running back on Atlanta? Bijan Robinson. I get him confused so much with Brian Robinson on the Commanders. Yeah. But yeah, those are the games I'm going to target and do my anytime touchdowns because I don't really see a need for a lot of these other games. I don't think that there's not going to be much going on. And you really can't count on the backups to do anything, right? So you don't want to put your money there. I was a little disappointed when I lost that bet on Monday, but then I found out even though I lost my fantasy football, because I had the highest points in the league, I wound up winning $200. So next year is free for me in my fantasy league.
Oh, that's good.
And remember how I told you I lost by 1.5 points?
Mm-hmm.
This week I scored 190 something points. So if I would have been in the championship, I would have crushed my opponent and been the champion. But I took third place and I won another $400.
Oh, nice.
So all in all, even though I didn't win the championship, I won $600, which is not terrible.
No.
You know, my team did actually rather well. I mean, you know, could I use Malik Neighbors 2 touchdowns and 100 and something yards like 2 weeks ago? Yes, because I would have been in this championship and I probably would have won. But you know, a consolation prize of $600 isn't so bad.
No, I would say so.
And what would have been great is if I would have made that bet, that would have been a $1,100 swing into my pocket. I didn't, but I'll take $600 over $0 any day of the week. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I don't know what else do we got football wise. Like, I wasn't really overly impressed with last week's football games again.
So what do you think about the Jets interviewing Ron Rivera today?
I don't know why they're doing that. I don't understand what they're doing. Like, I feel like someone should hire me to interview people or something like that. I'm not asking to be the GM or anything crazy, but like, why are we not interviewing Vrabel? Like, what is going on? Do they hate the Patriots that much that they won't even hire an ex-Patriot player?
Well, who? Oh, I think is it Rex Ryan's interviewing tomorrow?
Yeah, I heard his name. I don't know if it's tomorrow or not. But why are you bringing him back? Like, what are we doing? You know, we don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back. And I'll be honest with you, I could care less either which way.
Maybe it's just there's not many guys interested in the job.
That's a possibility. But I mean, like, guys that haven't coached in a
Like
year or two.
with all the people that are available and all the guys that there are to talk to, you're bringing in Ron Rivera for an interview. I mean, to me, that tells me that a lot of people are saying, not interested.
You might be right, but I guess my counterpoint would be, like, what else are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, Mike Vrabel, for example. I get it. To me, he's a good head coach with the Titans. But if no one else is knocking on your door, why wouldn't you want to get back into the NFL and be a Jets head coach? Like, I get it. They're dysfunctional. But if you change the culture and make a winning team out of it, which he clearly didn't in Tennessee, he just didn't get over that playoff hump, right? Like, he didn't win in the playoffs. But he's a good coach. Why wouldn't you at least take an interview? To me, that's like boggles my mind. Like, I don't understand. And like, I don't really want like a defensive coordinator that never was a head coach. Like, we've done that so many times. I'm so annoyed at it right now. Can we get a head coach that has experience?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
That's the only reason why they're asking Juan Rivera, who has one-ish, but it's in his 13 years, it's few and far between that he's been a winning head coach.
He hasn't. I just heard on the way home from work today, he's only had 3 winning seasons.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's few and far between. Like, he's had winning seasons, but it's not a lot of them. It's not like you're talking about, like, Vrabel got fired for being 500. Right? But before then, he was above 500. So he had I don't know how many years he played with the Titans, but I could almost guarantee that when he was coaching the Titans, they were 500 or better while he was there.
Another name of that you're hearing getting thrown around a lot lately is Aaron Glenn.
Okay, so that's the only, I guess, defensive coordinator I guess I would choose, only because he's an ex-Jet.
Right.
But that sucks too, because we don't need a defensive coordinator head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, this year we have problems everywhere, but normally what do we have problems in? It's the offense and moving the ball. We could get along with, you know, even the guy, what's his stupid freaking name? Jeff Olbrick or whatever his name?
Yeah.
Like, he's a defensive coordinator. I'd be fine with keeping him as a defensive coordinator because when he was just a defensive coordinator, the Jets' defense was better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be opposed to signing somebody just for a defensive coordinator. Now, whenever the head coach comes in, he makes his pick out his coaches. That's fine too. But can we get an offensive-minded head coach?
I don't know. I just think with all the different options and plays there are out there, for them to be bringing in a Ron Rivera to interview, there must be a lot of people saying not interested.
Listen, you might be spot on, or it may be some kind of a gimmick just to see what he's saying, but he's not going to be the type of guy to turn around the culture in that locker room or on that field. You know what I mean? I would have more faith in Aaron Glenn because he's an ex-Jet doing that, because he could at least pull at the strings and be like, listen, I played here.
Right.
Like, and they were decent at least when he played there, not a train wreck of a team.
Right.
But
and you know, I mean, who the hell knows?
I don't know, dude. I really haven't. You know what the real problem is Woody Johnson needs to go away and just hire a good GM and let him do his thing and just sit back. Yeah. Because I heard it, I don't remember when I heard it, but really quickly, the Knicks didn't get good until Dolan stepped back. And
he hired Leon Rose.
And he hired Leon Rose. And then he took a step back and he's like, I don't really care. When Dolan was mixed in with that, they were terrible.
Yeah, and what's another perfect example of that? The Cowboys.
Right. And that's been for years now. You know what I mean? So it's like the owner, and I get it. It's what's happening with the Giants too. Like the Mara family is like they're all about the football and they're huge fans. But sometimes you got to separate being an owner and a CEO or whatever you want to call yourself and a fan.
Yeah.
And you can't mix the two. And I feel like that's the problem with New York football right now. And it's a shame because if they just step
I think the
back.
problem with the Giants is that the owner stepped back too much. Because as you can see online, that video's been that video clip's been running rampant. Where they had the meeting about when they were talking about Saquon Barkley that was on Hard Knocks, and the owner gets up and he's like, "I gotta tell you, I don't know about this. He's one of the best players in football and has been one of the best Giants ever. I'll leave it up to you, but I don't feel good about this," or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So that's a case of he gave the GM too much leeway, I think.
Maybe in just the Saquon Barkley thing, but
And listen, you can argue it till you're blue in the face. Doesn't mean he was going to have that kind of year this year with the Giants.
no, he never was. That's the thing is because Philly has such a better offensive line, and that's all that's what's making that happen, which is fine and good for him. Whatever,
But he did say he's like the only thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see him go to Philly. He says in the clip,
Well, I mean, after you let him go, you don't really stand a chance on where he's going. So, you got to eat it. But
Right, but I think that's part of it, right? Where he was almost saying, I'd rather sign him and give him the money that we don't think we should be paying a running back just so that he doesn't go to the Phillies.
yeah, that's possible. It's certainly possible. But they let him go, and he signed with Philly. And listen, Philly's not perfect either. They could lose a game or two in the playoffs. Like that's going to be a big matchup, hopefully in the NFC
They've already
conference.
He's not playing the last game.
No, he's not. But and so he's not going to break the record, which is fine. To me, it's not selfish, but it's almost like you're taking, for lack of a better word, you're taking a chance, right, on getting a bunch of guys hurt for no reason.
Right.
Save your guys for the playoffs. Ultimately, if you win a Super Bowl, it'll be all worth it, right?
Exactly.
And that's it. Now, I'm looking forward for hopefully that matchup, Philly versus the Lions in Detroit. That's going to be a game and a half. Oof. And just so you guys know, I've been in talks with Fallon's. We're doing the Super Bowl party there. The usual turkey festivities all day long. I got to show up some details, so details will follow on
And
our
what did
show.
you say? Is this the first year where it's going to be on President's Day weekend or no?
I think it's next year. I'm not sure. When the Super Bowl is like the 12th or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, President's Day is
19th or something like that. Yeah. I don't think it's this year. I think they want to move it back a year next year and have 18 games, and then it will be. So I don't think so yet. But either which way, I'm taking off that Monday. That's not going to be an issue. So
Yeah, I probably should do the same.
100% you should do the same. Because we're going to be having a great time deep frying turkeys. Wander, you're obviously more than welcome to come to Fallon's. Hang out throughout the day. I'll be dropping turkeys all day. It'll be great. I just hope the playoffs. I'm so excited for the playoffs. So excited. The Jets suck this year. Everything's done. And we're almost ready to go. We're a week, less than, well, I guess we're almost a week away, right? 8 days. Close enough. How do we do on our picks? Let's get this shit show over with. Give us the running tally, and then if you won the week, you could start it off.
Oh, so I forgot I didn't fill in the Lions game. What happened with the Lions game again?
They covered.
They covered?
Yeah. They won by 6. I think it was 3.5.
All right, so that being said,
Yeah, they won 40-34.
so for week 17, I went 3-1. The Wanderer went 3-1, and Ryan went 2-2.
Of course.
Thanks to his Jets.
Yep, the shitty old Jets.
Which leaves us with a total tally of Ernie at 39-27, a whopping
Wow.
12 games over 500.
Wow, that's impressive.
The Wanderer, Ryan at 35-31, and then the Wanderer at 34-32.
So you have to go 0-4, and I have to go 4-0 to catch you and tie you?
Yes.
I welcome it. Let's go. So since you were 3-1, start us off. What are your 4 picks? And I hope we're not sharing any. I know we are, though.
I'm looking right now, and we are not.
Oh, this is great. Oof.
We are not sharing a single pick.
That's great. So now there's a little intrigue in this last week. I could
Say
catch
there's
him.
a chance.
As long as there's a chance, pal, I'll take it.
All right, so my first pick, I'm going with the Bills over the Patriots. I'm assuming nobody's playing for the Bills, but it's 2.5 points, so we'll take our chances. Who's the backup quarterback in Buffalo?
Bill Orlovsky.
I got no idea.
Oh no, Mitch Trubisky.
There you go.
Yeah, he looked good. He's gonna be fine.
Right. That's why it's -2.5 for the Bills still. Otherwise it'd be like 12.5.
Exactly. My second pick, I'm going with the Packers over the Bears, -10.
So I wonder why it's -10. I mean, Jordan Love's playing. What do they have to? Oh, maybe a seeding thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Must be
Because
if the line's that high.
yeah, 100%. Because they have the same record as the Commanders. So if they win, they jump to Commanders. Go ahead.
Third, I'm taking Tampa Bay over the Saints at -13.5. The Tampa Bay still having a lot to play for, and the Saints just sucking wind lately, so hopefully that'll be okay. Hopefully my boy
Yep, that guy.
Evans catches a bunch of touchdowns and a bunch of yards, because it'll be part of our parlay picks, and Baker Mayfield throws for 400 yards and
Yep.
4 touchdowns.
We only need him to get the yardage and a touchdown. That's
Yeah.
all.
And then last but not least, we're taking the boys, getting 6.5 against the Commanders.
Wow. Oof.
Oh no, it changed. Jesus, it's only 6 now. That's a good sign.
They're getting 6.
Yeah, when we did this,
Yeah, 6.5. I see it right
was
here.
6.5. Now it's saying 6. I guess the line is constantly changing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, those Commanders, I guess, are playing for a seating option.
Yeah, but the line's going down. That means
I was 2-2, but
the money's going on the Cowboys.
You're second place.
Fair. All right. So for me, I'm gonna ride the Joe Burrow train because he's been so good to me this year. So I'm going with the Bengals.
How could you not?
Right. They're giving 2.5 to the Steelers. My dad's a big Steeler fan, so if Joe Burrow could just beat the Steelers, I could rub it in my dad's face. That'd be fantastic. And yeah, I would like to at least, they're the Saturday game, so they could put the pressure on the Broncos and on Miami to win those games if they win. So that would be awesome to see and just add a little intrigue over the weekend. I thought this game was going to be more important than it was after we were talking. The Seattle Rams game, and Seattle was giving 6.5 on the road, which doesn't make much sense to me. But I guess because the Rams aren't going to play nobody, I picked the Rams with the point spread. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll probably lose that. I didn't realize, I was just looking at the standings, and I thought there was going to be division implications in that. But the spread is telling me something different. Then I'm going with the Vikings with the Lions. Big fan of Lions this year. I'm hoping that the Lions could beat the Vikings by the spread, which is they're giving them 3. It's going to be a high-scoring game, so we'll see where that goes. And then the stupid Dolphins versus the stupid Jets. This happens to have playoff implications depending on what happens in the Broncos game and in the Bengals game. I know I'm going to get screwed here too, so there's no way I could catch Ernie. I'll probably go 2-2 again with somehow the Jets squeaking out a win. I picked the Dolphins at -1, but the Jets are going to win by like 3 or 7, whatever it's going to be. It might be Aaron Rodgers' last game as a Jet or last game ever.
Yeah.
He might retire, so that's the only cool thing about going to this game. If he does wind up putting up a show, he's looking for his 500th touchdown.
So if he throws no touchdowns this week, does he come back next year just so that he could be a selfish
100%.
prick to get his 500th?
And he'll come back with the Jets, 100%. 100%. So I hope he gets his 500 touchdown. I hope it happens in the first quarter to Devontae Adams. That might be the only bet in that game I make is a Devontae Adams touchdown. And that's it. I can't talk about the Jets anymore. It's disgusting.
All right. My picks for this week, I'm going with the Commanders -6.5. Well, you said it's at 6 now.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't picked the Dallas games very well, so we'll see what happens. I have the Eagles -3, the Colts -5, and Atlanta Falcons -7.5. Those are the picks for this week.
All right, dope. Anyone watching anything recently?
Have I watched anything new? I don't think I watched anything new. I watched an Italian show recently. Just was in the mood to watch something Italian recently, so it's not something you'd be interested in. But I don't think I've watched anything.
I watched the Carry On movie, which is surprisingly a Christmas movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, with the I know.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of liked it. It was,
I'll have to check that out.
yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, you haven't seen that yet?
No.
It was good.
Do yourself a favor too. I'm gonna hopefully watch it this weekend. I slept on this, but that Transformers 1 movie, I heard it was really good. It's a cartoon Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard it was really good. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it this weekend, so we'll talk about it next week if we get to watch it. I think it's on Paramount Plus, or if you have the Fire Stick, you can find it wherever.
Okay.
Heard that was really good. I'm in the middle of the last season of Yellowstone, the second part. It's really boring. I can't wait till it's over.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Like I'm 3. What is the last second part of the last season? Like 7 episodes. I'm like on the 4th episode. I'll watch that tomorrow. So like it'll. By the time we do the show next week, I'll probably be done with it. But it's not anything crazy. Let's just like it's like Kevin Costner not being in it kind of sucks.
Right. So after getting that, I guess over that initial shock, which I don't know how much of a shock it was for anybody, but it was a little bit of a shock for me because I wasn't following any of the news about it, so I was shocked. But I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe it picks up. I don't know. Like I'm 3 episodes in, and it's just like ugh.
It's you can just see they're working very hard on wrapping it all up.
Yeah, and it's just not great. Like I don't expect it to be anything of a good ending. Hopefully I'll have it done by next week and I can give you the whole synopsis on it, I guess. But that's where I'm at. Did you guys watch Shrinking on Apple Plus?
Yeah, I've watched that. That's just another one of those.
But you watched the new season, the second season. Was it second season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't think it's over yet, is it?
It's over.
Oh, it is over.
Yeah. Not the series. I think it's coming back for a 3rd series. But to me, that show is entertaining.
Yeah, it's another like a typical Apple TV easy, fun watch, feel good type of show. Like
Yeah, it's
Ted
not as good as
Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Right.
Not even close, but it gives you a little insight on both sides, like,
Yeah.
you know, the sadness of things and then, like, the happiness of things, because it's a therapist show, whatever. And, like, even they go through hard times and, like, you know, whatever. It does make me not want to go to a therapist, even though I never wanted to go to one anyway, but it doesn't help me with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, no.
Although, if that black girl was my therapist, I think.
Oh, Gabby? Yeah.
She's
She's hilarious as hell, too. You know who I do like? The guy that was in Married with Children? Derek.
Oh,
He's my man, dude. He's hilarious.
yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he's so funny. And the one time he gets pissed off, I loved it. I'm
my
like,
God,
good for
I
him.
forgot he was in Married with Children.
Yeah, he was also, what's his name, in Revenge of the Nerds. He was like the
Yeah,
jock.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, so that was good. But yeah, that's it. Like, a couple movies I heard were good. I still told you, Transformers 1. Subservience on Netflix I heard was good. I haven't watched that yet.
Subservience?
Yeah, that's with Megan Fox. It's some like futuristic robot kind of thing. I can't really get into it, but you should watch it, and we'll talk about it. I want to try and watch that this week as well. If not, maybe tonight. We'll see what happens. And yeah, that's it. What do you got, Wander?
I watched Squid Game, the new season. It was good. You know, it was similar to the first one. I think it might be like a part one. I'm not certain though. It kind of seemed like they were setting it up that way.
I mean, which seems to be the way that Netflix has been going, right? With
Yeah.
their shows.
I feel
How many
like-
episodes was it?
Um,
Not a lot?
Yeah,
Because then maybe there is a part
maybe
2.
like 7 or 8, I think. Let me double check. And then I also watched Juror Number 2. That's
Oh, how was that?
it was all right. It's what's his name? Clint Eastwood directed it.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. Like, you know, I didn't go in with high expectations, but you know, it was all right. It was
Okay.
watchable, but nothing special.
All right, so I'm not watching it. You don't sound excited about it. I'm not
No,
going to watch it.
definitely not.
Normally, when he comes with something good, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Let's see, season 2, 7 episodes. So yeah.
Oh, so maybe it might be a
Squid
part
Game.
2. So a lot of people said the season 1 was better than season 2. I'm not going to get to it for a couple weeks, I don't think. I really want to watch the show The Last Kingdom on Netflix. My buddies from Jersey are talking it up like it's something great. Like, once you get past like the 3rd or 4th episode in the first season, it takes off running. And it's got to be good because there's like 5 seasons and then a movie that wraps it all up. But it's a lot of stuff to watch, and then you can't watch these other shows. I still have Silo I want to get into, which should be almost done. That's why I started watching Yellowstone, because I knew that was done already. And there's another show I'm missing that is almost done. But yeah, whatever. You got any music for us
Yeah,
this week?
just one selection.
Just one?
Yeah,
You're slacking
this
lately,
week I
bro.
have been.
All right,
Sure, I
listen,
have
it's
been
all right. Like, if
listening.
you're not going to just throw 2 bum songs on there, I get it.
No.
I get it.
All right, so yeah, just one selection this week. Ninth Wonder with Zion 10. So that's the pick for this week.
All right, well, hopefully everyone's gotten through the holiday season all right, and everything was good. We're in 2025. Let's see how this year goes.
Hope for big things, 2025.
Yeah, let's hope for a lot of big things in 2025 and 2026. Let's see what happens. Hopefully this year goes kind of quickly, because I want to start golfing already.
I know.
I really do. I miss golf. Matter of fact, I got to take my golf clubs out of my car and bring them up here, because they're going to get warped or something like that, apparently, in this
At
cold.
this point, you might as well just leave it.
No, it's supposed to get really cold soon,
Yeah,
so
nothing's gonna happen, bro.
I don't know. I'm still going to take them out for a few months, bring them back in March.
I think 2025 sounds like a good year for the lottery to be finally hit.
Let's see. Let's hope. That'd be nice. Everyone, we'll see you next week after the football week 18, and we'll see what we got to talk about. Maybe some more shit from MLB.
And hopefully some hit parlays.
Yes. We'll see. We'll let you know about that.
Take care. Take care.
Take it easy.